Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and we are going to close out the KPZ 100 Battle Challenge today, and I'm going to show you my last battle. It was a really good one. No, it wasn't my last battle. It was the third from last battle. We're going to act like and pretend. I didn't even have to tell you that. I could have just said, based on, just make stuff up on the internet. I could have said, this was my last battle, but I'm going to be fully honest with you, it was not. I actually had a better battle earlier, but I think I deleted it. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But it's my third from last battle. It goes okay, but I really like this tank, the KPZ-50T. This is a ranked reward tank. It is in the ranked bond shop. So next time ranked shows up, if you want this, I would highly recommend, if you have the bonds, to at least get to level whatever you got to get to. Level season, ranked, I don't know what they call it, but skill level, what is it called? I don't know. Somebody will put it down in the comments down there. But this is a great tank. So quickly, let's take a look at it. I did do a review on it. I quite liked it then. I was a little bit surprised by this. Not totally surprised, but check this out, because this is easily the #1 best tier 9 medium tank. Bold statement, perhaps. And fire away, my friends. Just let me have it. Tell me how using stats isn't the right way to do it, and just your feels is the best way, all right? It's taking some stabs at some of my friends out there. I love you guys. I know everyone's got great opinions, and those are just like... everyone's got one. Okay. Seriously, though, in all seriousness, this is really good, and I think the stats hold up right there. You probably... you may have something else that you feel is better, but my goodness gracious, look at this thing. Win 8, #1, T55 second. Win rate, I mean, my goodness, that is such an unbelievable outlier. And still 50,000 battles, which is not too shabby in terms of numbers. As this is a ranked reward, that's what you might expect, okay? That's what you might expect. DPG, #1. An outlier, 2148. I am average on that. I mean, I don't even know if mine is 2148. We'll take a look at it. Maybe it's, I know it's around there, but it may actually be lower than the average DPG of 50,000 players. Crazy. Frags, #1. Damage ratio, #1. By a long shot. I mean, these are way crazy outliers. 0.21 more than the T55A, which, by the way, is the solid #2. Pretty clear with the Char Future. Although look at the number of battles the Char is played. So there's that argument on numbers of battles. Many more people play the Char, and it still does really good. So, I think there's a possibility there to make those good arguments. But still, let's just take right straight down the numbers. Kill to death, 0.89. Again, an outlier. Survival also, #1. I mean, this thing is just awesome. All right, so as I have finished my 100 battles on this thing, let's just do this. We're not going to do a full review, but let's just kind of follow up on what I thought about it before. And we're going to take a quick look at the other German tanks, the other German mediums at tier 9. And I've really found it to be a cross between three of these tanks. Sorry, it is a Lycan E50 but less armor, and it's like a Leopard PTA but more armor. So it's in between those two. The tank that kind of owned that spot before was the T55A, which is a Russian version of the German tank, or a East German tank, I guess. A Russian-built East German tank. There you go. That's what I wanted to say. Which sort of lived in that spot between the E50 and the Leopard, and now the KPZ comes in there. Kunze is something completely different. It's got its own strengths and weaknesses in there. You can see it's got a 320 Alpha gun, a little lower than the rest of these guys here. The DPM is surprising. I would have said it was higher, but it's actually the lowest of the bunch, even though the tank is one of the best. It's not by much. Dispersion is great at 0.32. Mine's at 0.3. We'll look at my stats in just a minute, or my setup and what it gives me there real quick. -8 depression, which is nice in there as well. The aim time on most of the German tanks is really nice. So 1.92 is fairly good. Now, this is the thing right here that kind of brings the KPZ into the current meta and allows it to do so well. And so it's got the depression and it's got the turret. Now, 250 is not amazing, but it's better than an E50 at 215. It's even a little better than the T55A, although the angling on the T55A is a bit better. And even the hull, though, at 120 is quite thick. and decently angled. You will get some surprising bounces off the hull. So the armor helps keep this thing in the fight, which is nice. Let's jump down here real quick to mobility, because it does do 60, although it is a bit sluggish. We'll take a look at a specific power here of 18, which is relatively low for the rest of these. Say, for example, a Leopard PTA at 20. It's not quite as bad as an E50 at 14. E50 really takes a long time to get up to speed. So I wouldn't say it's sluggish, but it's not zippy, but it's good enough. It can get around the battlefield pretty well. And last thing I just want to mention here is the view range. So what do we have here? We got a well-armored tank, or decently armored tank, let's put it that way, at tier 9. Not as good as an E50, but better than a Leopard PTA, with most of the mobility the Leopard PTA has. And while the gun's not quite as snappy and nice in terms of handling as a Leopard PTA, it's pretty good. So just a solid all-around German medium tank at tier 9. With my setup, and you can see that I'm going try-hard, I've got improved vents and bounty rammer and vert stab, and this is, I just want to do as well as I could on this tank. I'm only carrying 8 heat though. 39 APCR is the standard round. If we take a real quick look at this, you're getting 268 pen out of the standard, and you're not getting a big boost out of the heat. A little potentially anemic at 310, but not bad. Enough to kind of spam some heat into some of those thicker, flatter, armored kind of heavies that you might run into right there. Gets me to 6.64 on the gun loading. Gets me to 1.81 on the aiming time and 0.3 on the dispersion, which is quite comfortable, and a 2800, almost 2900 DPM right there. So fun setup. I really like this thing. We're going to take a look at a game. This is, like I said, my third from last game in the Kampfpanzer 50T. Alrighty, here we are in game, and I am just not even ready. We are on Himmel's, what is this thing called? I don't know. Give me a second here. Alright, there we go. Lack of professionalism. This is Glacierdorf, right? So we've got Himmel's Glacierdorf spawned into the east side here. I'm going to go to the middle and fight. I did have a, I want to say it was 1525 experience. That was the one I mentioned earlier that I can't find. That was a pretty big game. I think this one shows a little bit more of the strength of the tank in a slightly closer battle. We're going to do well here with the 1300 plus experience. The requirement a few days ago for an ace was 1579 or 8 or something like that. So my 1525 came up 50 experience short of an ace. I will keep this one. I'm not going to strip the equipment off of it. I like this tank. It's got a good crew. I'll probably end up playing this a little bit more, and I would like to try to get the ace on this thing. But you would expect that based on the numbers that this thing has produced. So Glacier Himmelsdorf, let's just get going. We're going to head towards the middle right here. And like I said, I wanted to kind of show this to you guys because that -8 depression, the decent turret, the mobility, the decent accuracy, all of that's going to go together and make this thing a pretty solid tank. Not Manticore, he's getting really cheeky in there. He becomes a bit of a thorn on my side. I'm trying to come up here and get a shot. I don't want to just keep going though because I'm lit. And then this dude comes up. There's that -8. Not as comfortable as a -10, right? -10 wouldn't have made me come up and over. So you will find that with the KPZ and any -8 depression gun on some of those spots where you would come up and go, oh, I'm expecting because I have good depression to get a shot, and then you just have to go a few more feet forward or meters forward, and then that ends up getting you shot. So you do have to watch for that. -8 is good. It would be nicer if it was -10. This tank really is just a couple away from being completely overpowered. I wouldn't say necessarily that it is. It probably needs a slight nerf. This one is solidly, in my opinion, one of those that has a lot more to do with who's playing it necessarily than how good it is, although I will admit it's quite good, so we missed that dude. Notice the highlight thing right here. This is important. And I have said this in the past. There's only a few times where this is really helpful, and this is one of them right here, because this gives me an exact idea of what he's running back and forth. There's some ground right here, right? So that gives me an idea of where to aim. Use that function. It's very good. It's kind of what I'm doing there. Get a shot on him. I want to help those guys in the south, or that guy, because there's only the 907. I'd really like to keep him alive. I don't want anything down there in the south shooting me in the side, if I can avoid it. So the 907 wins that fight. We'll keep coming up here. Remember, it's got the 400 view range. I do not have a vision set up. I probably should. I would recommend to you to have that. This might be, I don't know. I don't know if this is a map I would go the vision setup or not. Rushing shots just a little bit right here. Here comes the Rev. And they're beating up on the 907. I'd really like to help this guy. Here we go. This guy's coming up, so we'll put a shot into him. I get lit, I think, from somebody behind me, actually. He just slides down. I'm not able to take that shot. I got to keep checking over here because it looks like they're thinking about coming around the corner. Might have been the Emil, actually, that poked around. Got to be careful about him. Looks like he wants to. So we find him, we'll shoot him, we'll make a runner. We do take a hit. We're going to fix it. Try to get away from him and make it as hard as possible. And now he doesn't have a shot on me. So I backed down, used the cover to block his own gun. He was tracked. There's that cheeky Manticore making my life a little miserable right there. I'd really like to get rid of that fella. We're doing pretty good. We got 1,600, 356. Ooh, and we take that hit from the 122. Sort of forgot he was there. He's got that Great Depression. Put a thump on the Manticore. He gets us, unfortunately. And we've already used our kit, so we're 60 seconds away from getting back to our 6-second reload, and now we're rolling with this much longer 12 or so second reload. We're going to keep working the middle here. One of the strengths of this tank. This is something that a PTA can't do very well, although, well, I've bounced 710, so that's not bad, right? Unlikely that a Leopard PTA would have bounced that much. And I think based on the mobility, because of the specific power for your E50, it's a little more difficult to use this kind of spot. Bit of a snapshot, worked out for me. Left him with 8 hit points, unfortunately. There's that highlight thing. I can tell where the cover is, although it's kind of hard to see, isn't it? I don't even know what I was seeing there, to be honest. That seemed odd. I wasn't getting what I would have expected. There we go. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how that's helping. There should... Oh, is it clear? Oh, it is. It's just barely clear right there. There it is. I missed that. There's a line right there. Okay, so that's... There you go. There must have been a building in between us. That probably wasn't a rock up where the ISU was. That was one of the buildings in between us. There you go. Very cool. All right, so the Type's going to try to go up the hill. We're going to get a little altitude here. He's going to uncover as he goes, and we'll just sneak a shot on that guy. Like I said, pretty comfortable gun handling. We're getting close to fixing our ammo rack. There we go. 2,796. I have, for a wonder, I have resisted the temptation to press number 2. Look at that. It's all been APCR so far. We'll see if I'm able to resist past this. We got to work on our APCR orthodoxy. And I think it's actually a good thing here because I am shooting guys in the side a little bit. I'm going to get a good shot on this 122 TM, and high possibility with heat that the skirt or the side of the tank or the wheels track is what I'm trying to say would have eaten that shot. I know a 122 TM has very long reloads, so that gives me an opportunity to get inside his reload, jump up there and shoot him, and then I pop his top for 322. A little bit of overkill, I think, because that's more or less my average damage, but that's all good, because if I low rolled, at least I ammo racked him and he blew up, so he didn't survive it, however you want to slice that. Now we're going to push in. Here's that decent mobility with the good old KPZ. We got 5 kills so far. Taking a bit of a risk that the object and RHM might see me and double tap me, but we'll just run across because really what I want to do is get up in some faces, get some more damage, and if I get some spotting for tanks coming across, all the better. RHM's near dead. I do want to be careful with him. And then the 25T AP is on a reload. What's he doing? I don't know. I'm going to come up here and give him a little spanking. People taking shots at him. There's the object over there. All right, so we got him here. He's making a runner. I miss. Because he's not coming at me or acting like he wants to try to get shots, I'm feeling like he's probably on a reload, and we're going to prove that here in just a minute. I'm going to come up. The 277 died, so I don't have to worry about him shooting me. I just want to come over here. I know that the RHM's up there, and I figure he might come up and over, but that's okay. If he does, I'll hope to spot him and somebody will get a shot. This guy isn't shooting me yet. Put 2 into him. Get a 298 and a 282. 2 nice low rolls. Wouldn't have killed him, but it would have been nice to get a better roll. Come on in there. I think I missed. Did I miss? Let's see. We got a... Nope, I hit him. Oh, I rammed him for 300. I did miss. Rammed him for 300. That's all right, though. We'll get our hit points however we can. 4,300 damage. We have 5 kills. We need one more kill to get that top gun out of this thing. 1,293 assist. Find that guy's low hit points. Little auto-aim action because I'm lazy. That's an easy way to miss. Also, because of the intervening terrain, I may have been aiming at a poor spot. I may have been aiming right above the terrain, with the auto aim because it's center of mass. So, you do you, my friends. It's not always the best thing. But what I will say about that is there were so many guys coming in, I was just going to take the chance that I missed them with the auto aim so I didn't have to stop and aim and do things. And I didn't want the Artie to steal a kill for me right there. We end up with 4,371 damage, 6 kills, 1,293 with 1,316 experience out of this thing, and I think it's a class 3 actually. Class 2. I believe it's a class 2. So it wasn't even a class 1, but good little game there. I think illustrates a lot of the capabilities of the KPZ 50T. Really like this tank. Fantastic little tank, showing you the mobility, the good but not amazing gun depression. Pretty good accuracy. Got a couple snaps. Had a couple that missed, but some of those shots were very dicey. The one on the 61, the Type 61, I was glad hit because I only had a little sliver of that guy. We did get to see a bit of how the new highlight system works right there and how it can be effective in certain situations to help you aim, especially on that ISU. It really helped me out on that one. And I think the earlier shot on whatever the other guy was down there in the south. So there you go. 100 Battle Challenge in the KPZ. I think I'm in the top, I want to say I'm in the top 100 maybe, or maybe it's top 500. I did okay. I'm going to jump back out of this though and see where I stand in terms of DPG, because I think I might be actually slightly below average. It's somewhere around 2,100, maybe 23. I don't know, but there you go. I would recommend this tank. I would highly recommend this tank, even if you don't like ranked. Do enough of it to get in there and be able to buy it for bonds, because it is a solid tier 9, and I actually enjoy the tank. Really cool little tank. That's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you.